Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Monday, we're back to the top of the workshop looking at the top performing map at the moment, and it's this one. But before we have a look at it, I want to say a big thank you to absolutely everybody for all of the support and everything. We have finally reached 15,000 subscribers, and some while back I said when we did this I would do a Q&A. And well, I've done that. And it's already up on the channel. Link will be on the screen in a moment. There were so many questions submitted that I've had to do it over 3 parts. Otherwise you'd be sat there for ages. So anyway, yeah, link is on the screen now. Go ahead, enjoy, have some fun, and let me know what you think. Also, you can let me know what you think about BonBonBingo, because I want to know, are you playing BonBonBingo? Have you ever won at BonBonBingo? Is it something I should keep doing? And also, have you ever partaken in the daily reminder? I know 10% if you have. And the other 90% are just too busy to click the like button. If you watch the show, click the like button. Give me a bit of support. I appreciate it. Today's map is the Unknown Marshlands 2021 by stevensdomi. stevensdomi is back. We have seen their work before, and this one, it's a strong map, very strong standards on today's map. It's also a bit confused. There's your start square, very interesting. Some very nice, interesting intersections on today's map. I think you're going to appreciate some of the intersections. There's your terrain heights. It's a very flat map. Be careful when you're playing with the water because you'll cause flooding. Very strong swaths of resources, very strong. And then, of course, if you have Sunset Harbour, you want to do some fishing, it's about anchovies and salmon today. Unusual not to see any shellfish. That's good. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. On top of that, there's a nicely written description and a link to a one-click collection. Now, we'll be using Mr. Miyagi's Boreal Summer theme and the realistic 1.2 LUT. And then when we get into that one-click collection, it's a moderately... It's not super long. There are plenty of bits in here. We will be using today the procedural objects mod. The map won't be broken if you don't have the procedural objects mod, but there will be bits missing, and I'll make it quite obvious in the second half of the show which bits will be missing. But I think it will still be a strong map regardless, whether you have it or not. But it's kind of an opt-in, opt-out. Railway Replacer mod is there as well, and Theme Mixer 2 is listed. I don't really know why. Yeah, there's no actual theme mix that we're running with. I mean, it would help you switch themes if you got the wrong one, because the Mr. Miyagi's Boreal theme doesn't automatically load in. It was obviously a map that started creation as a vanilla map, and then we've gone with the theme a bit later. Now, you are going to be seeing a lot of flamboyant intersections today. This is the first one. This is one of my favourites, actually. The tree detailing on here really makes this intersection pop. It's flamboyant. That's the best way of putting it. And the standards are pretty high. And on the whole, the standards of not just the intersections, but the networking and the detailing are pretty high on this map. I would say there are some questionable decisions regarding the procedural objects mod. Now, first of all, let's make sure we get this straight, our first bridge here. If you don't have the procedural objects mod, it's fine. The map won't be broken. There'll be a few things that are invisible, which we'll see in the review. Some of those things that'll be missing will be missed. I mean, properly, they do add something a little bit extra to the map. And then there are some bits, say flamboyant intersections like this, lovely. There are some bits that I'm confused, not confused, I'm bemused rather than confused. I'm bemused about them. Traffic merging here, I think, could be a bit slicker, just a bit slicker. Maybe if we'd gone into 4 lanes rather than 3 as we have mass transit, that might have been a bit smoother, possibly. But yes, there are some decisions that were made. I mean, one of my favourite, I mean, this is a landmark procedural object item here. This will be missing if you don't have procedural objects, or at least a good chunk of it will be missing. It's interesting, it's different, it makes no sense. I don't think it really needs to, because when you get a map like this, you can just allow for a little bit of fantasy in the map as well. So I don't really mind. That there. That is a creative use of the procedural objects mod. Then there are things on this map where I feel that I'd really rather they weren't there. And the easiest way of getting rid of them is not having the procedural objects mod, or manually deleting them one by one, as you'll see a bit later on. I'm not going to do any deleting though. This is that start square intersection, which is very nice. It's loopy, definitely loopy. I really like this. I'm not sure whether that was plopped down off of the workshop, or whether it's hand created, but one way or another is either a good selection or a very nice creation. Whichever way you want to put it, I think stevensdomi's done a very nice job with that one in the start script. Just add something a bit different, and it does make this map a little bit more memorable. Now, it is a marshlands map. There are marshy areas. Our next intersection is here. There's kind of like a cloverleaf dumble intersection here, where we've got a marshy area over on the right hand side, a bit of wetland going on over there, and the oil fields are over on the left hand side, which we'll have a look at in the second half of the review, because I think there's stuff to talk about there as well. And then heading on over to our next bridge. So yes, if you don't have or don't want the procedural objects mod, it won't break the map. There will just be things missing that you're seeing now, like that monolith of an elevated stone on 3 plinths. I mean, yeah. Do you like it? Yeah, you want it? You don't care? You don't care, it's fine. You still have a perfectly good working map. Next intersection here. On the whole, I like this as well. There's just one little bit about this I really don't like, and that is this one slip road here. The angle of it that it comes off is slightly too straight. Could do some curve in it, and also the steepness of it is just like a weird steepness, which you might get a glance at when we come back along the rail. In fact, when we come back along the rail, which we'll do in a moment, you'll be able to see that is it's, again, is it unbearable? It's not. It just seems odd. It just doesn't quite fit with the standard of the rest of the map that we've been seeing. The rail, again, the rail's actually quite simple on this map. Again, it's going to be quite easy to do, given that it's a very flat map, so we haven't got too much up and down to negate and find a way around. But what we do have is one main route like this that will get down past the start square, and then we'll have options. We'll be able to go left or straight on, and that's it. So while the road networks are a little bit more complex, I was going to say convoluted, they're not convoluted, while they're a little bit more complex, and I probably would like a little bit less of the highways, just to make us make our own decisions where we want to expand into. The highways do connect up all the main areas, and so you can't argue against that. Personal taste would have said I'd like to see a little bit less, especially along the edge of the map where the highway connects up all the bits and bobs along the edge of the map, and you know what, I would have been quite happy for them not to have had a highway. Personal preference, nothing more than that. Nobody's getting marked down anything on that. Then we have, there's a junction here that goes either side of the monolith. Beautiful thing that it is there. And we'll take a left and head off towards the edge of the map this way. So yes, another reminder to do watch that 15,000 subscriber Q&A. We'll be episode 1 focuses on the frequently asked questions, because all of that, and I can't remember what we start with. We started with, was it technical questions? I think we had technical questions at the start as well. So frequently asked questions and technical stuff, and then we'll have part 2 Sunday next week, which will be all about YouTube, which will include general YouTube stuff and the channel itself. And then the Sunday week, i.e. 2 Sundays from now, we'll finish off with the I can't remember. Certainly the About Me section. I can't remember. There's too much going on in my head right now. But yeah, there'll be an About Me section and maps and About Me. That was part 3. I remembered. I'm not as old as I think I am. Yes, I am. Anyway, we'll take an intermission in a moment. We'll come back and we'll check the shipping, because there's plenty of that today.
Are you impressed by the custom assets you see in some YouTubers' Let's Plays? Did you know some of them might be made by a mod within the game itself? Find out more with BonBonB's procedural object mod tutorial. Click the I button now.
And so back to the shipping routes. There are lots of them. On Unknown Marshlands 2021 by stevensdomi. Yes, they go everywhere. And while it gets into all nooks and crannies, just like a Leader Super Mop, it's, I don't know if it's a little bit too convoluted in, I mean, we do want to get, oh hang on, we've got a bit of cross country here. There's an oopsie. So there's a potential for some grounded ships. Potential. You've got to really choose the wrong place for your harbour though to be able to get ships grounded there. But there's a potential for it, minor one. And then we've got shipping routes over here, the looping off right in the corner there. I think again that is a bit loopier than it really needs to be. It's a loopy map. Oh, stevensdomi likes their loops, I tell you. Honey nut loops for breakfast. We've got water flow. This is start square. We've got a spawn point right there, pushing water out. So yeah, if you're doing sewage or water pumping, and also you have access along this river as well. So one way or another, you're going to be good if you want to be playing base game rules. But I guess if you're using the procedural objects mod, you probably will be finding other ways of dealing with your sewage. So overall, the map is quite interesting. This is like the most standout area in terms of it doesn't really fit with the rest of the map. I don't understand. I mean, when you get in really close, it looks really nice. We've got a little walled area there. We've got a little abandoned village over here. But in terms of it just stands. It's kind of like the islands off of Dubai. They don't really look right. Thanks for going through my living room there. Anybody who has got BonBonBingo could tick off motorbike going through my living room there. But yes, we've got intricate marshlands there. We've also got some intricate marshlands going on over here as well. Now, these are the three areas that look quite intricate. And then the rest of the map isn't. It's just a fairly clean looking map. I would like to have seen more, but we've got a little dot of the lakes there as well. I would like to have seen more of these intricate little areas in a lot of places across the map. There is this little area over here which is rocky, and again this looks great. This is all procedural objects work, well most of it as well, in that area there. Doesn't really fit with the rest of the map, but it is kind of marshlandy, sort of rock marshland. Is that such a thing? Alright, so now let's head down. So yeah, we've got clean coasts everywhere, and I would like to see a lot more time spent on making intricate marshlands along the coasts than spending a lot of time making procedural objects like here. This boat is actually procedural objects. Now normally you just plop the prop, don't you? But if we can move this, look, using procedural objects. So that is one thing that will disappear if you haven't got procedural objects. And then we have got, if we come over here, this little area over here, this little staged area is all procedural objects. And again, it's very nice. It's not that I don't like it. I'm just saying that it won't be there if you don't have the mod. We've got a slightly encroaching tree on the dirt track there. I really don't mind that one. That's fine. Heading down here to a quarry, which has got a lot of procedural objects going on with it as well. Come down into this area. As quarries go, it's a nice little quarry. It's an unusual location to have a quarry. It's a quarry within an island, and its potential for flooding there would be high. This is that area that I said was like a stony marshland area. I thought I'd zoom in and give you a closer look at that one before we ignore it for the rest of eternity. Unless you want to come back and play the map yourself, of course. Then we've got this area over here, all procedural objects as well, pretty much, including the cemeteries. Why the cemeteries procedural object? I don't know. But that's what we've gone with. And down here, now this is your oil fields. But at first glance, I thought we had a Jurassic Park going on. Dino oil, it says there. I thought it was like a dinosaur as well. Because like the entrance there is like the entrance to Jurassic Park. We've got it's like welcome centres going on there. And it was like a pathway leading all the way through. Except for it's not. These are all procedural objects as well. Now, if you want to get rid of these, which I frankly would personally, you have to manually delete them using the mod, or not subscribe to the mod. Also, it's a walled off area to prevent A, the dinosaurs escaping, or B, you getting into the oil fields. Make up your own minds. I would say there's a slight problem with it in that, well, frankly, we have direct access to the highway, so we could just like go over there, plant a couple of terrorist bombs and blow up an oil well. Let's not give Al Qaeda any ideas, but yeah, are they still a thing? Is it ISIS now? I don't know. I'll lose track of things. But yeah, we got that. This is that other lake area. These are areas here that when they're like, they love the little dirt track running through the rocks there. These little areas here are definite high 4-star, maybe even 5-star aesthetic areas. I'm not saying they're not. And I also like the little farmland areas like over here as well. Again, high 4-star, maybe even pushing 5-star areas. But I think overall, it's complex. Oh, also we've got land in 3 corners. I want to point this one out. We have a little bit of land over here. Just in case you want to build over here. I'm not suggesting you should, but just in case you do. Not quite a BonBon island. It needs to be an island. But yes. The essential lighthouse. Isn't she lovely? Kind of sinking into the rock there. But I see why. Come around here. The door is at ground level. Good work. So yes. Shall we head back to the start square? I'm not going to show you the terrain lines because, well, it's a flat map basically. And the asset of the day. And this is outstanding. Outstanding. It is Charles Street or Charles St. Mill. I'm not quite sure. It's got to be Charles Street, surely. Charles Street Milltown set by Clements. Clements has done a few sets like this, mostly factory units. So they will all fit together. If you're doing an industrial town with Victorian or Georgian histories, definitely get these sets. They're amazing. I mean, top work. Top work. And factoids, because factoids. The original name for the United Nations was? Come on. Think about it. Have you got it? See, I would have said League of Nations. And I would have been wrong. That's a slightly different organisation altogether. It was the Associated Powers. Associated Powers. Yeah, I think United Nations works a lot better. Anyway, yes, the Charles Street Milltown set by Clements. Do you know what? This is just exceptional. Again, obviously, you can push these together. You can make your own building shapes, make something complex, just do some terraced housing. Oh, so many options, and they just look amazing. Keep them coming, Clements, please. Top work. Top work. Right, okay. Can we find an aesthetic location for a thumbnail? I do hope so. Let's find one of these 5-star areas, shall we? Right, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Apple, Gmail, or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I really wanted to go strong in this one. And I think I would have done if it was conclusively one thing or another. I think if we'd been a lot more down the line with procedural objects, maybe that was the way to go. But it's a marshland map, and I feel that we need to see more marshlands, and we've got some high standards of intricate work going on here. I just wanted to see more of this across the map. I mean, we might have been talking 5 stars across the board, possibly. But high 3. Detailing. I know, high 3, I know. Detailing. Lots of good standards. Question marks on procedural objects, but I've got to give 4 stars. The standards are high, and there's nothing really holding it back. I'm going to go medium-low 4. And for gameplay potential, I'm going to go medium-high 4 because I like it. I think this smells playability. Unknown Marshlands 2021 by stevensdomi. Would get the seal of approval, except for I just feel it's a bit confusing. It either needs to be more marshlands and just 1 or 2 points of. I've no problem with procedural objects being used, but I don't feel it really. That just confused things. Am I the only one confused in this room? I think I am. Anyway, Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. If you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the words of the day into the comments as part of a sentence if you can. Score yourself some population points, and I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Have a great day.